Hey y'all, this is tcagaming. I'm going to do another purchase video for you guys today. We have some pretty cool sales that we're going to look at. I'm going to show you guys some unique variations of some things, and we're going to try to increase in value throughout this video. So last week I showed you guys a video of some gray stamps. So this is from Joking Pokemon. Thanks for the purchase. I look forward to watching your videos. And there it is. And he has a YouTube channel as well. He saw where I bought that Blaine's Magmar gray stamp for 10 bucks, and he actually had 4 himself that were gray stamps, and he sold these to me for $25, not a piece, but total for the 4. You can see them right there. In person, you can definitely tell that the stamp is pretty gray. I might compare it to another card later on, but this is the lowest purchase that I made for the week, and honestly it's pretty cool. It's just one of those neat things that you can add to your collection for relatively low price, if you come across something like this. Now, you guys who are out there watching this channel and you haven't seen it before, I try to show purchases, and I do something that some people on places like IG do not like. I reveal the prices to you whenever I can if I think about it, and I encourage any of you who are out there, try not to be a part of the toxic part of the community that bashes other people when they reveal prices or because they just buy stuff for their collection. It's really kind of crazy, some of the IG posts that I saw from one particular individual this past week. But we're going to move on. We're not going to give that too much attention because I think that's exactly what that guy was looking for anyways. Here we go. We have this Arbok and we have Pidgeot. Both of these are Topps Chrome. Neither one of these are very expensive. A lot of these Topps Chrome's cards you could find for $20 to $30. Not too long ago, I've started trying to complete a Topps Chrome set, but a lot of them are being snapped up. I think people realize that they're really cool. They hold a lot of like nostalgic value to the way that they're presented, and they're thick. They're nice. They have like this cool foil on it. But I paid $50 a piece for these, and I got these from Cool Trainer Ryan. You guys have seen me purchase from him many times in the past, and as always, he seems to throw in something cool. He threw in a Sword and Shield booster pack, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up now. Revealed the code cards. That probably means there's nothing good in here, but I thought that was another energy. Man, it's been so long since I've opened up new packs. Got Vitality Band, and then you got those new style energies. There's nothing in there, but we always have a chance. There's a little code for somebody, and if you play the PTCGO, I actually sell codes pretty cheaply on my website, tcagaming.com. You should see it down there in the description. Next up, now we're jumping from $50 a piece to I paid, I think it was like $300 for this, or it's $400 best offer. Now, really cool thing. So E4, they've got this new Google Chrome extension that you can download it, or you can install it, for Google Chrome. And so say this card was on eBay for $399.99. You can actually, with the extension installed, you can hit this little thing below the price that says see what it sold for through the E4 Google Chrome extension or through the extension, and it actually shows you the exact price that it achieved in best offer, because eBay has made it a little bit harder for you to figure out what the actual sale price was, but they have that cool extension that you can have installed. It's free and it's super easy to use, really quick. Next up, for $800, I have this Boundaries Cross Holo Charizard. Like, wow, 800 bucks. As everything continues to grow and to get higher in price, the only losers in this market, let me say it again, the only losers in this market are the people who are not actively involved by buying and selling. If you're buying and selling, you're doing so in record volume and record prices for anything that's rare whatsoever. So, I'm stepping up on a lot of these cards because that's what it takes to get it off of people. And you know what? This guy may have been asking, a record high price, but at least he was the guy putting a price on it. The people out there, sometimes when they complain about stuff, they have the same cards, but they won't put a price on it. And if they did, I can guarantee you it'd be a record sale as well. Next up, we have a Venusaur First Edition PSA 10. I got in on this one a little bit early, so I didn't have to pay, a crazy jump on it. I paid $3,800. This was to Gary. You guys know him, Pawn Stars Gary. He's been in the community forever, and he had just had this thing recased. That's why it has that low 200s or 20 million cert, but it has the new case on it. And I tell you, a lot of times, these 20 millions, they're iffy. You don't know if they're going to be good or bad. But just because it's in the 20 million search doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means it might have a higher chance. And a lot of that sometimes has to do with just the way people submitted back then. So like this Venusaur, I don't know how how Gary submitted, but some people who would send in Venusaur first editions, they send it in on the bulk. I've seen people send in a first edition Charizard worth worth $1, and it made it through because they didn't really know what was going on, so they didn't give it the true attention. I think that sometimes the bulk lacks compared to a really high end service. But moving on past that, I'm going to show you guys this because it's a pretty strong card. So if you look at it, you don't really see anything going on there. I'm sure if you analyze it, you could probably find some kind of little print line in there. Like I may have saw one right here, maybe up there, but honestly, it would take some really, really good looking. And check it out, it's a thick stamp. For those of you who don't know what a thick stamp is, let me pull out one of these. So, if you look at this, you got that gray stamp thing going on. This is actually it should be a thin stamp, and this is a thick stamp. It's harder to see when they don't use as much ink. That almost look like the thick style stamp of a font, but the font is slightly different. Sometimes these are even like almost hollowed out. Let me just see if I can, let me look at this card. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see unless you have something else. This was a card that we pulled in a previous video, and it's dark. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but if you look at the one, it's a lot thinner, and then if you look at the font of the letters, it's going to be a little bit different than this one. You see how the one is much thicker, like it has less black space, if that makes any sense. So when you're comparing them, the thin stamp is this style. It's basically everything on from half of first edition base set on through every first edition set printed after that. And then you have this style stamp, which was printed on at least half or less than half, part of the first edition base set print issue. And that's basically referring to the one. It's thick because the non-black space of the one is thicker. And so those are the two variants that sometimes people want to argue over a little bit. Thick stamps in general bring a little bit higher premium because they're believed to be a little bit earlier, because everything after that was printed with a thin stamp. So next up we have Shining Mewtwo. I paid $2,000 on this one. I thought I was going to go in order, but I must have switched the Venusaur and the Shining Mewtwo in one other card, because this is actually the fourth highest thing that I had paid for. But I bought this for $2,000 from the same place that I got this Zapdos. I believe it was the Cardboard Crack Shack or something like that, which is pretty cool. And then we have this Charizard Plasma Storm. I paid $3,000 for this one. That was a top end price, and you know what? It's a really nice copy. Look at those corners. A lot of times on these Plasma Storm Charizards, they had edgeware issues. I remember sending in 42 of these things that were packed fresh, 0 10s, not a single one. I only had a few 9s out of the entire order. So to finally get this one and put it away, I thought $3,000 was a pretty decent price, considering you have to pull it from a Plasma Storm booster box, and it's a secret rare, which is only 1 in every 2 boxes. And if I remember correctly, you have the Charizard, you have the Blastoise, and one other secret rare in that set. So it's not very likely that you would pull it, just from opening one box. It's probably about a 1 in 6 chance if you factor in being 1 in every 2 boxes, and there's 3 different secret rares. And then you have to get it in Gem Mint 10. So $3,000, I thought that was a pretty cool price. It did come with a note. So we have, Dear tcagaming, thank you for buying my Plasma Storm Charizard in PSA 10. It has been a part of my personal collection, so I'm glad it's going to a good home. A huge stressor of finishing up my degree has been lifted, so I'd like to thank you for that. Happy collecting. I think it's Bonnie Dang, Bowdangers, at Bowdangers, and check it out. He drew this really cool Magikarp saying Carp Carp. So I will definitely keep that. It'll go in my box of notes that I have. Maybe one day I'll frame up that stuff. I don't know. I really appreciate that kind of stuff. All right, next up, got this from here. Show you the card. Pokemon Experience, Big IG2. Oh wait, I thought it was Experience. Oh, Pokemon Radar. Maybe that's what it was. I thought it was Pokemon Experience. Man, he's the guy that I've been working with to do some other stuff. But Pokemon Radar, I wonder why I get those two confused. But it was Pokemon Radar. Here's his eBay stuff, his IG, his YouTube, and his Twitch TV. I never did much with Twitch TV, but some of you know what this is. Let me see if I can turn it around. So I got another Jungle Booster long pack box. So that means there are, with 72 packs in here, it's basically 2 Jungle Booster boxes, but with the long stems on them, and it's completely sealed. It has the original seal on it, the tape that the Wizards of the Coast stuck on there. But I'm not going to put this in the background because it's already taking up too much room trying to look at it now. I like adding those to my collection. They're pretty rare. Next up, we have a base set unlimited booster box. I paid $7,298 for this. I'm going to show you why I paid that amount. Some of you have probably already figured it out. It does have these curved logos, which means it's either the Australian or it's the United Kingdom version, or I guess just European version of the unlimited base set booster box. And the reason that I purchased this, I do already have one. However, I was bidding on a few unlimited regular base set booster boxes, right? And I noticed they were going for over $7,000 in auction. $7,000. That's nearly 3 times the price of what it was this time last year. I remember I was trying to sell some at the Hartford Collectors event for $3,000 or something like that, and they were going in auction for between $2,000 and $2,700. But I went ahead and bought this one for $7,298 because it is a much more rare variant. And I thought, if I can get this for roughly the same price as whatever the retail is on a regular unlimited, then I'm going to do that. So that's what I did. I put in an offer. It was at $8,000 for $7,200, or it was $7,000. He countered $75. Basically, it ended up being $7,298 after shipping. And you can see right here, it actually has the dates 1999, 2000. You can see the curved logos there. Here's another way to identify it. You've got the curved logos on this side. And I believe this right here is slightly different too. It used to just be like this Nintendo with a circle around it, like you see right there. Up top, I think it said official, and then below it, it just said licensed product, but it did not have like this little world thing going on in the background. The font on this used to be a little different too, I know, at least with the green wings. But the biggest indicator, you look here on the bottom, it actually says made in Australia. Australians, they speak English, so these cards were really no different other than the fact that you have a chance of getting 1999, 2000 holographic cards. All of the non-holos should be 1999, 2000 dated. But I was glad to add this one to my collection. It's actually in better condition than the one that I have, so I may sell the other one. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to just think on that. And then last but not least, I bought something. This is the only item in the video over $10,000. I got this from none other than PokeRev. Check it out. There's all of his information if you guys do not already know. I know many of you do. He does really great YouTube videos. He sells on eBay. He sells, personally. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. But he sold me for $12,000 this, another base set box. Now this one's a little different. It has the square logos. Now some of you, by looking at this front of the box, can tell that it actually has a green winged Charizard on the side. And the reason you can tell is because this is going to be a little bit darker coming through here, like these, just like the yellow swirls and stuff. You can kind of put it side by side a little bit. And then from what I've been able to tell, there's always going to be these little 2 green dots right here on ones that have the green winged Charizard on the side. So there we have the Venusaur. The Venusaur does not have the green X lights kind of shining out the backside. You see that there? You see it? Yep. Then you have the Charizard, who does have the green wings, and he's blowing out flame. You can see it. And then you can see the font difference right here with the website, and then there's the Nintendo seal, much different. On this side, let's see if there's anything different. I can't remember if there is or not. The font is a little different up top. You can see that. Yeah. And there's probably some other details, like that's really low font right there, and you can see it a lot bigger here, and so forth. But we're not going to keep comparing. We're going to look on the bottom, and this one actually has no locations. There's no other locations on here other than USA. And that just means it was probably an earlier print. Now, since it has the Wizards logos, it's probably not. I don't think I've ever seen long crimps in anything that had logos on it. but it does have a chance at Shadowless. So we've went over this before, how to be able to tell if a box is Shadowless or not. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it down in there. But right there, right here, there's actually on a base set booster pack, you'll be able to see the trading card game logo. Let me show you. Let me grab one of those. There's one. All right. So you've got this right here, which would be an unlimited regular, base set booster pack. And the reason you push down right here is because the pack, inside here, it's going to be kind of positioned like that, and you're going to be able to see the red part of this trading card game. And the reason that makes a difference is because this is a pack that is actually Shadowless, and we know for sure it's going to be Shadowless because it has the long crimp, but it also has the Shadowless artwork. That's the main indicator. It has the trading card game bar down here. So if you can't see any red up top on either one of these corners on the side, then you know it's got a good chance. Well, it does indeed have the Shadowless artwork on the outside. And then you got to look at the crimps to see if the cards are either definitely Shadowless or have a chance at being Shadowless. So this one right here is just regular. 1999 out of 2000, those never have a chance. But anytime that you have this Green Wing Charizard on the side, you do have a chance. And so if you watch PokeRef's channel, he was actually able to pick this up a while back and said, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see on camera with this, but there are no red trading card game logos up at the top where there's that little box. You can't find it. So then it either has to be short crimp or long crimp. Short crimp is like the later base set packs. You can actually get this Shadowless artwork with the short crimps. That means it has a chance of being Shadowless, but you don't really know for sure. And then you have long crimps. Long crimps, this is a guaranteed Shadowless base set pack. Now if we look down in here, like I said before, and you can see that those are clearly going to be short crimps. So we've got this is a base set booster box, with Shadowless artwork packs inside, but the cards inside of those packs could either be Shadowless or they may not. And this is another variant that I got to add to my collection. I actually have this box already, but it has regular shadowed booster packs inside, so it has packs like this right here. But this box right here actually has a mixture of these two. Like I said, it's going to have these crimps, but it's going to have this kind of artwork where this box is down here. Instead of saying 11 additional game cards, it's going to say 11 tradable game cards. So I thought that was pretty cool just to add another variant to it. I think I'm up to about a dozen different boxes for base set, and this one's in really good shape. I think he cut me a really good deal because base set boxes have just been skyrocketing. If I was to try to make the deal with him, I think as of today when I'm recording this video, I'd be paying a good bit more. But at the time, a guaranteed long crimp Shadowless booster box before this, the last two sales have been $14,000 a piece, and I helped negotiate both of those for the people that were buying them. Now, that box could be $25,000. Who knows how much it is now? It could be even more. Everything just seems to be going up and up and up right now in Pokemon. Like I said before, the only people who are really losing out are the people who aren't playing the game. They're not getting in there. They're not investing, having fun, collecting, buying, and selling. And it is tough for people because you got to buy this, you got to pay more for more for less now. But if you're selling at the same time, then you should be doing good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you do appreciate the fact that I put the prices out for this kind of stuff. It was one of the most requested questions that I got down in YouTube comments. You guys always want to know the price, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to give that to you, and I'm gonna be honest with you 100% of the time. So thank you for supporting the channel by watching this video all the way through to, where are we at? Almost 19 minutes. Wow. So congrats on that. I know listening to me for that long could not be too great. I'm not exactly rambunctious like PokeRef is. And now that we went over the 19-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thanks again for the support.